51 Facts About Islam. Did you know in the early days of Islam, religious leaders had to memorize the entire text of the Quran and recite it to multiple scribes at once? Or did you know Indonesia has the most population of Muslims? Stay tuned until the end so you don't miss out on any facts. And hit that subscribe button so you never miss videos like this. Fact 1. Meaning of Islam. Islam is an Arabic term that stands for peace, safety, and surrender. On the other hand, a Muslim is someone who peacefully submits to God. Fact 2. First Muslim woman in space. Anusha Ansari, who went to George Mason University and George Washington University for her master's, was the first Muslim woman to go to space. Fact 3. Country with the highest Muslim population. Indonesia has the most Muslims in any country, with 231 million. Globally, there are 1.8 billion Muslims. Fact 4. Quran meaning in Arabic. Quran means recitation in Arabic. It's the sacred book for Muslims, sharing the teachings and story of Islam's main prophet, Muhammad. While mostly in Arabic, the Quran also includes some phrases in Hebrew and Syrian. Fact 5. 99 names. Allah has 99 names, each with a meaning. Some of these names are Ar-Rahman, Al-Jabbar, and Al-Aziz. Fact 6. Family-oriented. Islam values family connections. The teachings are passed down through families and communities, parents, friends, and neighbors playing a significant role in educating children about the religion. Fact 7. Prohibited foods. Muslims generally avoid eating pork and any carnivorous animals. They also refrain from consuming foods considered haram. Fact 8. Sects of Islam. Islam has two main groups, Sunni and Shiite. Most Muslims are Sunni, but Shia Muslims are the majority in some countries like Bahrain, Iran, and Iraq. Fact 9. Islam is for everyone. Anyone can embrace Islam regardless of their skin color or ethnicity. Surprisingly, only 15% of Muslims are Arabs, even though many people in Western countries often associate Arabs with Islam. Fact 10. Halal. Halal means permissible or okay in Arabic. According to the BBC, it's the Islamic way of slaughtering animals, involving a cut to the jugular vein, carotid artery, and windpipe. The animals must be awake, alive, and healthy during the process. A Muslim also recites a prayer, thanking the animals for their sacrifice. Fact 11. Lunar calendar. Muslims use the lunar calendar, Hijri, and observe holidays like Ramadan and Eid. Ramadan falls in the 9th month and involves practicing self-control in various aspects of life, including food, sleep, and even intimate relations. Fact 12. Muslims in America. Most Muslims in America take pride in being American. Contrary to the accusation that Muslims are anti-American, 92% of American Muslims express pride in identifying as Americans. Fact 13. Opposition to violence. Muslim Americans are strongly against violence, more so than any other religious group. The majority of Muslims firmly reject the idea of military attacks on civilians. Fact 14. Haji pilgrimage. This is the yearly journey to the Kaaba in Mecca. Every Muslim is expected to make this pilgrimage at least once in their life, and around 3 million Muslims from all over the world come together each year for this purpose. Fact 15. Second largest religion. Islam is the world's fastest growing religion, and as of 2017, it is the major religion in 50 countries. Fact 16. Salat. Every Muslim is encouraged to pray 5 times a day at specific times. 1. Fajr, dawn before sunrise. 2. Zuhr, midday, after the sun passes its highest point. 3. Asr, late part of the afternoon. 4. Maghrib, just after sunset. And 5. Isha, between sunset and midnight. Fact 17. Abrahamic religions. Islam, Judaism, and Christianity trace their roots back to Abraham. Unlike Hinduism, which has multiple gods, these Abrahamic religions are monotheistic, meaning they all believe in one almighty creator. The origins of these 3 religions can be linked to Abraham, Adam, and Eve. Fact 18. The original Arabic text of the Quran has not been changed. The original versions of the Torah and the Bible, as revealed to Moses and Jesus, no longer exist. However, the Arabic text of the Quran has remained unchanged since its revelation. Fact 19. Islamic calendar. In Western countries, we start counting from the birth of Jesus for the year 0. On the other hand, the Islamic calendar begins in 622 AD. So according to the Islamic faith, it is currently the year 1445. Fact 20. Women oppression. Muhammad once said, "The best among you are those who treat their wives well." Islam, in its true form, gives women many rights. Any Muslim man oppressing women is not following the true words of Allah. Fact 21. Jihad. Jihad doesn't mean violence. Instead, it's a call for Muslims to study, preach, and defend Islam as defined by Imam Raghib. Fact 22. Tolerance in the Quran. Some extremist groups assert the right to kill those with different beliefs, but when you read the Quran and examine examples from Muhammad, you'll find that tolerance is actually encouraged. Fact 23. Extremism. The true Muslim community doesn't endorse the extremism practiced by terror groups. These groups don't represent Islam, they just use the religion as a cover. Islam, in its genuine form, is a peaceful religion, and the majority of Muslims around the world follow the traditional teachings found in the Quran. Fact 24. 6,236 verses. The Quran has 6,236 verses, also known as ayats. In the early days of Islam, religious leaders had to memorize the entire text and recite it to multiple scribes at once. Fact 25. Jesus is mentioned in the Quran. Jesus is mentioned in the Quran, but he is not considered equal to Muhammad, who holds a higher status as one of Allah's 5 messengers. Fact 26. 40-year-old wife. Muhammad married his wife, who was 40 years old, when he was 25 years old. Fact 27. Islamic Golden Age. In the Islamic Golden Age, scientists and inventors achieved remarkable innovations and were compensated as generously as today's professional athletes. Fact 28. Holy Mary. Mary, who is Jesus' mother, is talked about more in the Quran than in the New Testament. She is the only woman mentioned by name in the Quran. Fact 29. Wives. In Islam, if a man can't treat multiple wives fairly, he's advised to marry only one. Fact 30. Arabian Muslims. Out of the nearly 2 billion people who identify as Muslims globally, Arabs make up 15% of all Muslims worldwide. Fact 31. 11 days shorter. The Islamic calendar is 11 days shorter than the Western calendar. Islamic calendars follow the moon's phases, while Western calendars are based on the Earth's orbit around the sun. Fact 32. First trained pharmacist. The first expert pharmacists, who were specially trained, originated from the Islamic world. They crafted their own medicines and collaborated closely with physicians. Fact 33. Coffee. If it wasn't for Islam, you might not be enjoying coffee at Starbucks. Coffee is just one of the many inventions that originate from the Islamic world. Other innovations include marching bands, algebra, teaching hospitals, and the toothbrush. Fact 34. Remarrying. Even though Islam allows having up to 4 wives, a man can't marry again unless his first wife or wives agree. They have the authority to object and can seek divorce if the husband insists on marrying again. Fact 35. Islam in Spain. Islam was present in Spain for over 600 years, bringing peace and stability. Mosques and buildings in Islamic Spain showcase some of the most beautiful architectural designs, like the Alhambra Palace. Fact 36. Diseases. Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "There is no disease that Allah has created, except that He has also created its remedy." Sahih Bukhari. This inspired Muslims to explore new discoveries in the field of medicine during the Golden Age of Islam. Fact 37. Ratio of the Earth. The golden ratio of the Earth aligns with Mecca, one of Islam's holiest cities. The direction for prayer, known as a Qibla, used to be towards Jerusalem before it was changed to Mecca. Fact 38. Prophecies in the Quran. The Quran has made several accurate predictions. For instance, in chapter 30, the Romans, it foresaw that the Byzantines would triumph over the Persians in an upcoming battle. This prediction came true a few years after the verses were revealed. Fact 39. Advancements. Muhammad, peace be upon him, encouraged Muslims to seek knowledge and explore the world. Following his time, from the 8th to the 13th century, the Islamic world made significant advancements in science, technology, medicine, math, astronomy, and art. Fact 40. Holy cities. Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem are Islam's 3 sacred cities. 1/3 of the Quran talks about earlier prophets and key figures such as Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Mary, and more. Fact 41. Most memorized book in the world. The Quran is the most memorized book globally. Many Muslims, even if Arabic isn't their first language, have memorized the entire Quran. Fact 42. 124,000 prophets. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, mentioned that around 124,000 prophets were sent by God to different nations throughout history. However, only 25 of these prophets are named in the Quran. Fact 43. Muhammad and Jesus. The Quran is a highly detailed book, and many volumes have been written to explain its wonders. Muhammad is mentioned 4 times. and Jesus is mentioned 25 times in the Quran by their names. Fact 44. Being kind to parents. Islam emphasizes being kind to your parents. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, even said, "Paradise is at the feet of your mother." Fact 45. Best of women. In Islam, the most esteemed women include Khadija, the Prophet's wife, Fatima, the Prophet's daughter, Asiya, the Pharaoh's wife, and Mary, Jesus' mother. Fact 46. Mother Mosque. The Mother Mosque of America, the first mosque constructed in the U.S., is located in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It was built in 1934 and is still standing today. Fact 47. Europe. The progress in Europe during the Renaissance was influenced by ideas brought by Muslims from the Islamic world. Fact 48. Hindu rituals. To confuse colonial officials, an entire clan would prohibit Hindu rituals, as this made it hard to determine if they were Hindus or Muslims. Fact 49. Death of Muhammad. According to Muslim accounts, Muhammad didn't die of natural causes. He was poisoned. Sunni Muslims point to a Jewish woman as the alleged poisoner, while some Shiites suggest that two of Muhammad's wives plotted to kill him to pave the way for their fathers to take over Arab rule. Fact 50. Muhammad grave in Medina. Muslim records tell us that Muhammad passed away in his home in Medina and was buried there. Muslims continue to believe that his tomb in Medina is a source of blessings. Fact 51. The arrival of the Quran. The Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad when he turned 40 years old.